Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. This is Champion 2D Rob, back again, and yeah, I thought this time I would show you guys my backlog pickups, stuff that I picked up last year, going way back last year. In fact, I'll probably say this is stuff from as far back as the summer of last year. Obviously, because I've been away for such a long time, it's just, these are games up. This is obviously as you'll know by the title, this is basically all my Switch pickups that's sort of been accumulating since the summer of last year. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to go through everything in this video because I don't want to make the video too long. But we'll see where we are. Yeah, I just thought I wanted to just show you guys some of this stuff because I really want to sort of pack it away. Yeah, so I'm just going to go right into it, guys. I won't even hold you up. So I'm going to start with some peripherals first, some accessories. And the first couple of things I picked up. Now, when did I pick this up? I think I might have picked this up back in the summer. The Nintendo store was doing a sale on these, and I got the email notification, and I just basically snapped them up. So what I got was the SNES Bluetooth pad for the Switch Online. Yeah, I got it for a really great price. So I think it was like half off, something like that. And so I decided to pick that up. And I also picked up the NES pads as well. It's a shame that the Super Nintendo one wasn't a double pack like this. It would have been much better. But yeah, it's great to actually have these because using the Switch Online service, I do actually play on that a lot, so it's just sort of cool to have the pads. I mean, I don't really need the pads, to be honest. I'm not one of those people that needs to have full authenticity. Like, I know I'm happy using the Pro Controller, but these are nice to have anyway, so I thought I'd pick them up given that they were on sale. Next game I picked up here, and I think a lot of people pick this one up. I do have this actually on the Wii, but I'll be honest with you, I was always sort of put off from playing it just because it was motion controls heavy. But this one does actually utilize the control pad. How good it will be with the control pad, I guess I'll have to find out. But that is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Zelda fan. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not. I really am. But I'm trying to. I'm trying to get into these games. So I picked this up. I also got the steelbook that came with it as well. Really nice steelbook. Do you know what, guys? I don't even know if I've shown this in a previous video. So I don't know. I just had so many games just piling up. Like, some of them I can't remember if I showed them in a previous video or not. I know most of them I have not for sure. But there are like maybe one or two that might sneak in here, guys. So if you have seen it already, I do apologise. Yeah, there's just so much to get through. I just couldn't really remember what I've shown. But the vast majority of this stuff for sure is all brand new stuff to you guys. But yeah, happy to get this though, because like I said, I am trying to get into Zelda. I do have Breath of the Wild, and I'm not gonna lie, I did start playing Breath of the Wild, but I found it to be a very daunting game to start with. So I'm gonna have to ease myself into that. But this one obviously seems a bit more linear. So maybe I'll give this one a go first. I know a lot of people don't like this one as much, but you know, for me it doesn't really matter. Next game, I'll show you this. We'll go straight into this. I picked up Metroid Dread, and this is fantastic. I've been playing through this. I actually left it. I got stuck, but I'm a good few hours into this game, but I need to go back to it. Really good. I enjoy the Metroid games. I love them, and this one doesn't disappoint. It's a fantastic game. I was a bit put off by it at first because you can't use the D-pad to control Samus. You have to use the analog stick, and for games such as these, where you know it's important that you be precise, you know, I was a bit concerned by that, but to be honest with you, I actually got used to the analog stick very quickly, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But this game so far has been fantastic, really been enjoying it. And I did actually order the collector's edition, the massive big box edition. I actually didn't realise it was going to be this big when I pre-ordered it. I bought it off the Nintendo site, and yeah, so yeah, awesome. It's a great game, and I was lucky to get this. Moving on, another edition. Something I wanted to get. Now, I actually own these games on the PSP, but when this initially came out, I did sort of hold off because I wasn't too sure if I wanted to double dip. But then I wanted it, and then it sort of went out of stock for a bit. I think it was out of print for a while, but luckily there was a reprint, so I was lucky to pick it up, and that is the Prinny 1 and 2. Was it Exploded and Reloaded Just Desserts Edition? So basically what the Prinny games are, they're sort of spin-off games from the Disgaea series. So Disgaea is like a tactics RPG series, but these spin-off games are actually 2D platformers, and they're very, very difficult. They're notoriously difficult. I do own both on the PSP, but I thought I'd want to get this collector's edition. It's a really nice edition as well. I actually haven't really opened any of the stuff. I do have the game here, but I haven't sort of opened up any of the extra goodies and stuff. So I think there's a soundtrack in here and a figure as well, something like that. So yeah, really happy to have this one, because I was glad it went back in stock, because for a moment there I thought I'd missed out on it. And okay, so moving on, I think we're going to go into some limited run stuff. Now, this stuff is definitely from way back last year. I've just sort of been holding off. Yeah, some awesome games here. Really chuffed to get them. And I think I'm missing a few. I'm not too sure. I guess I'll have to be in another video. First game I've got to show you, and this is actually one I was so happy that it got a physical release, because I've owned this game digitally on the PS4, and it's an excellent beat 'em up, guys. And I recommend people, if you haven't, please check this game out. It's an excellent. If you like your beat 'em ups, check this one out, and that is Fight and Rage. A really good beat 'em up. Finally got a physical release. I was really happy when this one got announced. Yeah, really chuffed to get that one. Another beat 'em up here. Again, extremely happy it got a physical release. This was a much requested physical release for a lot of people, as it did originally come out on the PS3, and then it was sort of deleted off the store. And that is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Excellent beat 'em up. Really happy to get it on the Switch, and yeah, I'm glad it got a second lease on life. I'm actually hoping that one day, since they are doing PS3 ones, I'm still waiting to get Hardcore Uprising, which was the Contra spin-off game on PS3, and I love that game. I was so hoping that game would get a physical release, but at the moment, to no avail. But yeah, really happy to get this one though. Yeah, really happy. Here's a game here that got a physical release, and I was really happy as well. Now, this wasn't actually a typical limited run release. This was distributed by limited run, but so far no other distributors picked it up, not even for a European release. So I'm chuffed to get this one. It's a really good game as well. I do have it digitally, and that is Panzer Paladin. Fantastic game. This is like a 2D action mech platformer game, action side scroller. It's kind of Castlevania-ish as well. Really good game, really cool graphics. It's sort of got like this sort of NES style graphics to it. Lovely game, awesome. Definitely recommend Panzer Paladin. It's an awesome title. Next game here, this is one I was not expecting that it would get a physical Switch release, and that is the original Shantae. This game originally came out on the Game Boy Color, and it's a very sought after game on the Game Boy Color, so it's very expensive. And Limited Run also did a reprint of the Game Boy Color version, actual cartridge for it. But I opted just to go for the Switch version since I have practically all the games on the Switch. So I wanted to get this one, and really happy to get this game on the Switch to sort of complete the Shantae series. It's not my favorite game. It's very rough around the edges, around the edges. Understandably so. It was the first game, and it did originally come out on the Game Boy Color, but it's just nice to have, and it is a fun game. Obviously, I do think the later games are better in my opinion, but it's still a great one to have, and I'm glad that Limited Run released it. And the next couple of games here I've got are some collector editions, and this is one that I was very excited to get, so really chuffed to have this one, and that is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. So this one actually was a lot more easier to get than the first one. The first one, when it was originally up for pre-order, was one of those ones that you had to be there in the moment or you would miss out on it. This one was an open pre-order, so everyone got a chance to pick this one up. So I do believe the first one is the first collector's edition is a lot more sought after than this one, but it's nice to have this one as well. It's an awesome game. I haven't opened this one because I do own it digitally as well, and it's a great game. It's just like the first game, really. Action side scroller, very Castlevania inspired. Really chuffed to get a physical of it, and it goes well with the first one as well, so really chuffed with that. And my last limited run game, and that is the Mummy Demastered Collector's Edition, done in this really nice SNES box. This is another fantastic game from Way Forward. One that I've owned digitally for ages, so when they finally announced that it was going to get a physical copy, I had to jump on it. Love this game, and I know my mate Lee, the Retro Chef, he's been doing a playthrough of this game recently. He really digs this game as well, so actually it was me that recommended it to him, but I'm glad that he's enjoyed it. It's a fantastic game. It's very much a Metroidvania inspired title. It's a very cool game. It's based off a Tom Cruise movie, but it really has not much to do with the movie. It's very much its own thing, but it's a really great game. It's just a shame it's tied to a film, because that was really the concern, that probably wouldn't get a physical release, because the film sort of came out a long time ago, and the game had been available digitally for a long time as well. So the chances of it getting a physical release were very slim. Obviously, because of it's a licensed game, but fortunately they were able to pull it off. So really happy to get the collector's edition of this as well. Okay, next little lot here. This is a very cool game from Pixel Heart that I've been meaning to get. It's basically an action platformer. I do love my action platformers. I just love anything 2D really. Like, it's a 2D action platformers are just some of the stuff that I just love to bits. And this looked like an interesting one, and that was Golden Force. Picked this one up. Got a good deal on this as well. But yeah, really chuffed to get this. Check it out, Golden Force. This one I know I got for a really good price, and that was Tanuki Justice. And I got really lucky on this one actually. I had it on my watch list on Amazon for a long time, and then I just saw it drop down to about £10, so I just nabbed it. And now it's quite a sought after game, so yeah, chuffed to get that. Here's one that I actually I played the demo of this, loved the demo, so I went on to Red Art Games and pre-ordered this, although you can actually buy this at retail as well, and that is Hardcore Mecha. And this is a really cool game. This is basically like a 2D action mech game, very similar to stuff like Cybernator, or what's that game on a Super Nintendo that came out in I think it was called Metal Warriors, which is actually a very rare game on a Super Nintendo. It's very similar to that ilk. You're sort of like, you pilot a big mech, although this is a bit more stylishly designed. But it's a really cool 2D action side scroller shooter type game. So chuffed to get that. And next game I've got here, and this is just basically I've been getting into point and click games. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm getting old, but I'm starting to get into like a lot of these sort of old school point and click titles. And this is from a series that I've known about for years. Now this is a series that's been going on for way back. I think it's based far back as the 80s. I've never really played any of the games in this series before. I think I might have played one on one of the old home computers way back in the day, and it was considered quite risque at the time. And that is the Leisure Suit Larry series. So this is I think this is the second one. This is Leisure Suit Larry Wet Dreams Dry Twice. I missed out on the first game physically. It sort of went out of print. I do own it digitally though. I'm not too bothered when it comes to point and click games. I'll take them whether it be physically or digitally. I'm not too bothered. But I'm just trying to get into some point and click titles, and this one looks really cool. I mean, at the time it was probably considered quite risque, but it's probably quite tame now, I imagine. You know, although saying that though, I'm considering some of the games that have come out recently for the Switch. It might be more adult than I could be expecting. But weirdly enough, when I ordered this, and I bought this off Amazon, weirdly enough, they sent me a second one. So yeah, that was kind of weird, but there you go. It does happen sometimes. And going back to Red Art Games again, I also pre-ordered Sturmfront. So this is basically like a top-down run-and-gun game, similar to games like Mercs or Shock Troopers, that kind of style of game. And yeah, I've not gotten around to playing it just yet, but yeah, it just really appealed to me. I do love these style of games. But yeah, strangely enough, again, like Leisure Suit Larry, they sent me a second copy. So there we go. I got those as well. So I'm just trying to see how much time we've got left. Okay, we've still got a bit of time. Alright, so I've got another little stack here. I've got loads, to be perfectly honest with you guys. I probably could go on, could make an hour video, but I won't do that, guys. I won't make you guys go for an hour of this. I'll go very quickly here. I also picked up the Little Nightmares Complete Edition, as well as the second one. Always wanted to play these games. They're just very cool sort of platform puzzlers with a sort of horror theme to them, so they look really cool. I also picked up Sayonara Wild Hearts. I believe Mark, as Geordie Slasher Gaming, I think he was talking about this game, and it's sort of quite an unusual title. It's sort of like a music rhythm based action title, I believe. I think I played it briefly, but it was a long time ago, so I need to go back to this. I can't quite remember what it was, but it was a very cheap game though. I think it was like about £8, something like that. It was a very cheap game, but I've just heard a lot of good things about it, so that's why I wanted to pick it up. And here I've also got Blasphemous Deluxe Edition. This is very much like a Castlevania type of game. I had it digitally. I did want a physical, and I missed out on the limited run release, but I'm glad I missed out on it, because I was able to just pick up this European version for a lot cheaper. I already owned it digitally, so this was really more for the collection, because it's just sort of my type of game, so I had to pick it up. I also picked up here Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, a new and tasty. And yeah, this is just a really cool sort of remake of, I think is it the original? It's like a remake of the original game. Yeah, I've enjoyed the Oddworld games. I find them fun to play. So yeah, I just wanted to pick it up really. So that's why I got that. Next game I've got here, and this is from a series I've never really played before, but I've always heard about since way back in the day. And this is the Cotton Reboot. So it's basically a horizontal shooter, like a cute 'em up, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I do enjoy this one. Yeah, I like it. Visually, it's awesome, and I'm definitely gonna delve more into the series. I do actually have I think it's called the Cotton Saturn Tribute. I've got that on the way to me. as we speak. But yeah, really cool that this came out. I ordered this from Strictly Limited, so this one does come with a manual. I think the regular release does not come with a manual. I think oh, it also comes with a reversible cover as well. But yeah, really chuffed to get this. Really fun game. Yeah, so chuffed to have that. And what time are we on? 20 minutes. Okay. Next game I'll show you here. Now this one I bought more out of a morbid curiosity. I've just heard this game is awful. It is from the people that made I believe it's from the same creator as Nights into Dreams, I believe. So it's a sort of Sega game, although it looks like it was published by Square Enix, and that is Balan Wonderworld. Now I've heard some terrible things about this game. This game is said to be absolutely awful, but it was cheap, and I just had a morbid curiosity to play this game. So if you don't know, it's basically a 3D platformer, but I've just heard it's like really bad. Whether that's just hype, I don't know, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I picked it up very cheap. I think it's about 12 quid, 10 or 12 quid, something like that. So yeah, I thought I'd check that one out. And let's see, I think I'll end it on this one. And the last game I've got here is Crawlco Block Knockers. So I've got the case here, and this is basically a puzzle game, but it's one of those risque games that does actually have nudity. It's not as extreme as Perky Little Things. It's not quite as bad as that, but there definitely is nudity to this game. It's basically like a block slide puzzle title, and admittedly it's actually quite fun. I do actually enjoy this game. I think it's pretty decent. You know, the lewdness aside, but it is fun. It is actually a fun game to play, so I actually play this one quite a bit. So yeah, I do have more titles here, but I think I'll leave that for another video. So yeah, that's it guys. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Did you guys pick up any of these games? Let me know what you think of the titles, if you have bought any of them. And yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I will see you again. Bye bye.